I'm back with more layouts. Guys, I have put these layouts together over the past couple of weeks. I feel like I'm getting my mojo back. Don't you just love that feeling like when you sit down to scrapbook and you don't care how long a page takes and you're not in a lazy mood, like where you'll get up and look for one embellishment that you just got to have for your layout for an hour. And I've been in that mood a couple of times here in the past few weeks, so I'm so glad, but I'm kind of getting anxious. I mentioned this before, to get my Christmas layouts kind of done, because with all the new products coming in, I'm ready to move on to my new products. Okay, so let's get started. You already know it's a double page layout. You already know this is Logie and Nate, and you already know it's Christmas. The background is Avalanche. I would say Avalanche by Basil is definitely my number one go-to background paper. I like a white background most of the time. These are the Thickers Kringle font. I made this little number across the top. I hope, yeah, you can see that with my is it C? Oh, you know, I think it's CC Designs Loop-de-Loo die cut, and I liked it just fine. These little candy canes, as well as the other stickers, but they didn't all come together. The candy canes were like in one package, and then the little elves with the North Pole sign was in another package. And guess who sent that to me? Judy Bakes 22, and it was just perfect for this layout. Let's see, and I think they were by Sticko. You'll see my little MFT tab dies. I'm loving these things. And this paper is Pebbles. I think that's it. I squished 6 4x6 photos onto this layout. It's the boys by the fireplace this year at Christmas, and it pretty well sums it up. I did my writing with my Signo Ball Unigel pen, and this Christmas I sent out a few racks and a few thank yous. If you received a Signo Uniball Gel pen in your rack, the reason I sent that to you is because it is my all-time, hands down, favorite white pen ever. It writes smooth. It has a nice flow. I just love it. I've used a lot of white pens, and I'll never be caught without a Uniball pen. And I picked mine up jetpens.com, who ships free after a $25 order. Let me zoom in. Oh, let me tell the story. There isn't even much of one here. This is Logan and Nate by the fireplace. I just, look how precious this picture is where he lays his head on Logan's shoulder. They love each other and have such a good time. Nothing makes me happier than to see these two playing, because I love them both. I was going to tell you something else. Sweet as Sugar. Wasn't this just a great title with the embellishments? I know a lot of people have complimented my titles. Thank you so much. I think a title is important. I think it's one of the most important parts of your layout. It grabs people's attention. Now, I don't know about your family, but I know my family, even the females, they're just not overly crazy wild about scrapbook pages. So I gotta do whatever I gotta do to kind of reel them in, to get their interest. And I think a title will do that. With this one, I was looking at my pictures, and this is how I usually go about putting a layout together. It's one of my processes. But I was looking at these pictures, I had a big stack of just Logan and Nate at the fireplace. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go on and try to get as many of these pictures on one layout as possible. So I put them all together. I look at the pictures and I'm like, what is the sentiment here? I really love this picture where Logue is looking at Nate. Probably if it was the beginning of Christmas layout making time, I would have put that on a page by itself just because I love the picture. That's the case on this one and that one too. Actually, I love I love every picture here. I mean, look at this one. So usually, if I'm not getting bored with something, I will give a photograph its own page. But, like I said, I've done 1,632,000 Christmas layouts this season. I'm getting to the point where I'm over it. So, let's get as many on one page as we can. And the one common denominator in my head was how sweet these kids are. Now, I'm sitting looking at the pictures for 45 minutes going, these boys are so sweet. And I sit there for 45 minutes thinking, yeah, but what else can I do for embellishments? And then I'm thinking, hey, sweet, sugar, candy canes, ta-da! So there's a method behind my madness. Let's zoom in. That's just one of the ways I go about putting together a layout. See those little candies? Those are from the same sticker set. Now, the reason Logan is in shorts and a short sleeve shirt, I wish they would have brought extra clothes for him. He had just had a basketball game, and his daddy picked him up, and I guess they just didn't think to send extra clothes. So that's why he has summer clothes on in the middle of winter. And there you go. I really am loving this green Pebbles paper with the curlicues. Since my sweater and shirt for Nate was green this year, I went on and bought up as much green themed Christmas paper and embellishments as I could. And then it seemed that everybody else wanted to wear blue. Okay, let's get another one in here. Now this is a really old photograph that I scanned and edited a little bit and tried to clean it up. This is from 1994. This is our kids when they were little. I am not really crazy about this layout, but I thought it would look better than it does. You know what? It's one for the albums. I got it done. And this is one of those photographs that I really wanted to put on a very good layout, but it doesn't always work that way. This paper is not cardstock. I thought it was when I ordered it, and I could not tell you what brand it is. I did just order it this year. I think it's Reminisce maybe, but it says coming to a rooftop near you, December 17th, 1952. The picture is not that old. I almost covered that up because I didn't want people to think, oh, that's the date here, but they'll know if they look down here. I just cut out some of these embellishments that were on the paper, put a little lift behind it by using that dimensional adhesive tape. These things. So all of these things were already on there. The writing was on there. I did very little. This paper behind this came free in one of those magazines, craft magazines from the UK, and that's how simple that is. This is a 5x7, and it's from 1994. Very simple. Listen, not every layout that you put in your album is going to be a layout that took you 2 days, you know, or cost you $20 to make. There you go, guys. Let's get another one in. Now, if you watched my other layout shares, I told you that I wanted to do a double page layout for each of the grandsons opening their Christmas presents. And this is Nate's double page layout of him opening his presents. It is on a, what is that background paper? You know, I think the cardstock background is from a Die Cuts with a View paper stack. This striped, red and white striped paper is Sleigh Ride from Crate Paper. This, it was a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock, and I could not tell you what the brand name is. I did just pick it up this year at 2P's when it was marked down, and it was a bunch of letters on a 12 by 12 cardstock, but it right in the middle they had Merry Christmas, and I just cut that out. This background here is the This and That Christmas collection by Echo Park. I cut an oval out using my Cricut cartridge, George and Basic Shapes, and made a template. Once I cut that out, I put that paper on here and cut out the oval. I did not cut this out on my Cricut because I didn't want to waste this paper if something happened. Because when I made my template on the Cricut, I had to do it a couple times until it was the right size. This little guy is from a Cosmo Cricut collection probably 4 to 6 years ago. I used some of my little braids I've had in my stash for a bazillion years to make it look like this is a sign or plaque on the wall. I inked around the edge of everything using my walnut stain from Ranger because my buddy that I love, Kimmy Scrapper, did a card where was it a card or a layout? I forget. But she was using her walnut stain, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Why don't I use my walnut stain? So I did, and I think it was just perfect for this layout. You can barely tell, and probably can't tell at all on camera, but in person, it's just enough. You'll see I fit 7 4x6s onto this layout. These are from, gosh, I don't know, and it's a collection from this year. I'm sorry. These little buttons are from Joanne, and they were marked down a couple years ago, and I picked them up. Have you guys noticed how much buttons are? Like if you go to Joanne in the sewing department, oh my gosh. I mean, I was picking up buttons that were like $5 for 3, and I was like, I'm not paying that. Anyway, I put some of our journaling on here. And this is that paper. I just trimmed it up and call it a day. Stick a fork in it. It's done. I'll zoom in. Oh, and the red and white twine is courtesy of Shelley, who sent me a rack with a bunch of her twine she shared with me. Thank you, Shelley. Let's see if we can't fit one more layout into this video. Another double page layout with a bunch of pictures from the same event on the spread. I love stamps. Gosh, I can avoid anything but temptation, first of all, and I can say no to anything except stamps and paper and alphabets. Okay, that pretty much covers everything, but anyway, I am going to use my stamps more often this year. If it kills me, I'm going to use them stamps. And you know what? I actually like this layout, and it was fun to do. The story is the boys over the holidays actually got to spend the night with us. Well, you know, Nate is here every weekend because his dad still lives here. But it's just a double joy when Logan can spend the night with us too. And Logan's 9 now. He's quite the busy young man with sports and everything. So we were very lucky that he got to spend the night with us twice, and both times he stayed for 2 days. And Nate was here, and we just had a great time. Here you'll see I bought the boys matching house coats. I do that a lot. If we buy one something, we buy the other the same thing too. So now they have matching house coats, matching robes, matching slippers, or house shoes. House slippers would be girl. House coat would be girl. Robe is boy. House shoes, boy. I forget sometimes. I'm old. Back off. Anyway, I bought them dinosaur robes, and they look so cute in them. And of course, one got a guitar for Christmas last year. The other got a guitar. So here they are. This is not at Christmas, but during the winter break at school. And we were having a slumber party, and they got their guitars out and had their robes on, and they did a performance for me. And I asked, what is the name of your band? And they both said at the same time, the Dinosaurs. Of course, Mama, what else would it be? I got the biggest kick. Look at their faces in these pictures when I zoom in. I bet 40 pictures of them playing their guitars. And I even recorded it on the flip. So, yeah, don't take too much to make me happy, does it? So this is those pictures. Now, the background paper, Avalanche by Basil. You might be saying to yourself, why does she like that Avalanche Basil background cardstock? And here's why. It's pretty stiff. You know, I wish the cardstock was a little bit more, I just lied. Back up. Edit that out. This is not Basil. This is Basil double thick, smooth cardstock. And I just got my first order of this. It's definitely double thick. And it is definitely comparable to Paper Tray Ink cardstock. Paper Tray Ink, someone once said it's like picking up your cardstock and there's 2 pieces of paper stuck together. I can say that's true for the Basil double thick paper. But at this point, I've only been able to find it in white. So I don't know if they're going to make it in other colors, but if you can't get your hands on Paper Tray Ink, or it's too expensive to ship or whatever, try the ultra thick, double thick Basil cardstock. And the way I found it was through Shauna Webster. And she said this is what she uses for her card base. And then I typed in Basil double thick 12 by 12 cardstock. Be careful, because I almost ordered this from Simon Says Stamp, but then I noticed it was 8.5 by 11 extra thick white cardstock. So if you want 12 by 12, make sure before you hit send that's what you have. If you're buying it to make cards, then the 8.5 by 11 will be fine. Okay, so that's what that is, the background. Here's why I use this smooth instead of my avalanche. I wanted to stamp on it, so I wanted that smooth background. You'll see I used my Martha Stewart Curly Q border punch for the top. That red cardstock is just, I don't know. It's just red cardstock. I probably pulled it. Oh, you know what? I think it's American Crafts cardstock. Over here, you'll see, once again, I made a little border using the Martha Stewart punch. I think it's called like Curly Q. This is Thickers, and it is called Sparkling Green. This is Doll Font from Thickers. This little stamp here is from Simon Says Stamp. It's an exclusive for them, and I think Christina Werner designed this. Not sure on that, but definitely it is a Simon Says Stamp exclusive. Can I tell you something? I don't know if this is photopolymer or whatever it's called. I always feel like I'm calling that the wrong thing. I don't know if it is or not, but it gives a very crisp stamp. I'm impressed. This is Gnome for the holidays. Another Simon Says Stamp exclusive. I am very happy with those stamps that I picked up from Simon Says Stamp. I'll be ordering more. This is, of course, Studio Calico wood veneers. This is the Pure Innocence stamp. Read All About It, I think it's called. I paper piece some and colored in with Copics the rest. This is My Cute Stamps. They're going out of business. I got this after watching one of Vanessa's, who was 77 Butterfly Loves haul videos, and was able to grab one. How cute is this? And this is just a little foam star I picked up at Joann, like back in the summer. I think that's it. I can zoom in. Now, the now appearing is glitter, and it's just such a nice size. And the whole thing I was going for here is the little dogs and the MFT Pure Innocence stamp. It's supposed to look like they're sitting at home around the Christmas tree watching the dinosaurs perform. The reindeer in the oval is supposed to be a picture on the wall. Look at these faces. Okay, guys, well, I think that's it. I had to hang up and answer the phone, so I forget what I told you and what I didn't tell you. But here's the layout one more time. I put my journaling over here. It says, "There is nothing I love more than when Nate and Logan spend the night. I love watching them play and to hear what they talk about. They sure gave me a wonderful performance as rock stars." And that's that layout. I will be back with some more. I think I just got a couple left, but I hope to scrapbook today. It's Saturday. See you soon. Thanks for watching.